Okay guys, welcome to your Dinar Ombudsman call for, well, it's late Friday, it's actually early Saturday morning now. You'll get this call sometime Saturday, mid-morning, as soon as I can get it to Tanya. I'm flying solo tonight. No reason to have a long call, get everybody involved. We already heard from a few people in Iraq. As expected, they did have their parliament meeting, but nothing was accomplished, at least that we care about. So this will be a short one. We promised you an update, and we're going to give it to you. There's not a whole lot to talk about, but I do have a few email questions that people are in a kind of panic here because they're reading things that, sound fantastic, like we're gonna have an RV tomorrow, and then they're reading other things that are saying that it's years off. The bottom line is, really, guys, nobody knows, and we've, pounded that for years. Nobody knows. If they do, they're not telling anybody. They would be in a position where, telling anybody would get them in a whole lot of trouble. So let's just go through a few of these. I want to start with the first one because this is one that people, you'll see once I tell you what it is. It makes little sense, if no sense at all. Rumor that the rate is going to be $4.40 in country and $6.50 in the U.S. Well, I would start out by saying I personally do not think it'll be anywhere near $4.40. Again, we believe they delete the zeros, we get somewhere around $1. That's been the plan. They've told us that. You have to realize those people are used to using the dollar, okay? They've used the dollar, a lot of them, for most of their lives because it's going on, how many, 15 years now? So they're used to using the dollar. So for them to go to a rate near $1 would be very easy. It would be a smooth transition. They won't have a 20 dinar. They'll have a 25 dinar. But we know they talked about having a 1, a 5, a 10, a 25, a 50, a 100, and a 200. Okay, and then the fills, which are basically like our pennies. 100 pennies equals $1. Well, 1,000 fills equals 1 dinar, so it's kind of the same thing. And they put that out, guys. That information is available. They even told us what the bills are going to look like. All the images on there, what the images represent. So, this is a plan that's in the making for a long time. This is nothing new. But as far as when someone tells you in country, okay, there is no in country rate. All right, and think of it as in our country with the U.S. dollar. What's the in-country rate of the dollar? It's $1, right? In-country, $1 is $1, and I'm sure you've heard people say that. A dinar is a dinar is a dinar, okay? And it's cliche, but it's true, all right? If something costs them a dinar, then it costs them a dinar. Does it matter how many dollars or pesos that would get them if they exchange that to bank? No, it really doesn't. The only time it really comes into play is because they import a lot of their goods, most of them, as a matter of fact, at least for now, they can buy a lot more with their money. So that would tend to lead you to believe that the prices would be lower because they have what they call purchasing power, okay? But as far as having one rate in country and a different rate outside the country, makes no sense. The definition of an exchange rate is what your currency is worth versus another currency outside the country, right? So it really doesn't make a whole lot of difference what the rate is, and you can't have two rates, right? Because how many years have we heard, oh, they revalued in country? Okay. How is that possible? All right, and I'm going to use a quick, it's I'll try to be quick with it, but I want to really have people understand this, because the in-country RV and in-country rate, they've been talking about it for years, and it is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. So let's say you have a little shop and you sell widgets, okay, in Iraq. And let's say, we're going to make this real simple math. You get your widgets from the United States for $1 each. And let's say the exchange rate, instead of being $11.90, is 1,000 to 1. Okay? So you buy them from the United States at $1 or 1,000 dinar. Okay? You go to your shop and you sell them for $2 or 2,000 dinar. Alright? Now, if there's an in-country RV, as they say, that means people would come to your shop, and instead of paying 2,000 dinar, they would pay 2 dinar. Right? But what happens when you run out of supply and you have to go back to your supplier in the United States to buy more widgets? You're giving them 1,000 dinar per widget. But the people buying it from you are giving you 2 dinar. Okay, so you see the problem there? You can't have an in-country rate. It makes no sense, and just when you hear that, just forget about it. Just let it go. We've talked about this many times, but it still comes up, frequently. So figure just address it again. Welcome to all the new people too. I noticed we've got a lot of emails from some people that we haven't heard from ever. So I'm assuming they're new, and welcome. Hope you guys are getting something out of it, and hope you enjoy it. Alright, let's move on here. It's late, guys. I really want to get this, just a few of these out of the way. I probably wouldn't have done a call if I didn't tell you guys we were going to do it. So, whales are being flown in to cities at the expense of the banks. Why? Because it takes too long to get there by stagecoach. I mean, really, number one, why would they have to go to a different location? If you're going to exchange your dinar, you would go to whoever you bank with locally, right? Unless you're talking about this group stuff, which, that's a whole nother call just to talk about that. But if that was the case, wouldn't banks just wait until it was finalized and then fly them out? Why would they fly them out to have them sit and pay for a hotel room or whatever they're doing? You can get from one side of the country to the other in 5 hours, so it doesn't make any sense. But I'm probably preaching to the choir, because a lot of you guys already know this, but we're going to go through it because there is some concern. Especially lately, there's been a lot of panic out there. We have people talking about, this guy says it's going to happen tomorrow, and this guy says it's going to happen in 2020, and it's just, we don't know. But what we can do is take a deep breath, relax, and let it come to us, okay? Nothing we do or say is going to make it come any faster. Nothing we do or say is going to push it off farther. So, basically these calls are just to calm people's nerves and, just kind of stay as a unit, so, keep people together and keep people interested and hopeful. Let's see. I'm going to save that one for last. Okay, is Donald Trump going to use the Iraqi dinar RV to balance the budget and pay off the debt like Bill Clinton did with the Kuwait RV? Alright, number one, there was no Kuwait RV. We went through that, actually just a couple calls ago we talked about that. But for the sake of argument, okay, because I know there's a lot of people saying this too. You got a lot of the gurus talking about this. Let's just look at some facts, alright guys? Just facts. When was the first balanced budget under Clinton? I believe it was, and you can look this up. Don't take my word for it, guys. Look it up, because I might be off a year or two on the dates, but, I'm pretty knowledgeable about this kind of history, so it's going to be close. So, his first balanced budget was, I believe it was 97 or 98, I'm not sure. Alright. This supposed Kuwaiti RV happened in 91. So if that's the case, what happened to all this money for 7-8 years? Where was this money? Why wasn't the budget balanced immediately? Why wasn't it on the next, fiscal year after? Because it didn't happen, and that's the bottom line on that. And as far as using it to pay off the debt, which I also heard, guys, the last time that the debt was paid off in the United States was I believe it was 1835. It was Andrew Jackson. It was President Andrew Jackson was the last president to pay off all the debt of the United States. Okay, Bill Clinton did not do that. Okay, we're going back more than a century here to the last time debt was paid off. So you could file that one wherever you want to, but it's nothing to even concern yourself with because it never happened. Let's see. Okay, can Iraq go international with their currency at 1190 and stay there? Well, they could. The problem is, what would happen in country? People wouldn't use the dinar, right? They're so used to the dollar, they don't trust their own money. So bottom line, if they were to do something like that, they would just, continue to use the dollar, which would be a disaster for what they're trying to accomplish with their monetary reform. So not something that we expect to see happen. Let's take one last one and cut this a little short here. Oh, here, yeah. This was sent by looks like Lester. And Lester, thank you for the email. We appreciate it. We like you guys to send in your questions and everything, but let's try to be a little nicer at this. I'm just going to read it. I'm going to take a few of the words out to clean it up a little bit, but how can you guys say that there is no global reset when 250 currencies are going to be revaluated and asset-backed? Okay, well, number one, 250 currencies would be tough because there's only basically 195 countries in the whole world. Okay, that's not according to me. That's a UN statistic. Are there maybe smaller, tiny, sovereign ones that aren't recognized by the UN? I don't know, but it's not 55 of them. So, and then you have to factor in also, currency-wise, how many countries use the dollar or the euro and don't have their own currency? There's quite a few. I believe it's, I want to say it's about 180 total currencies in the whole world. So I'm not sure who's telling you that 250 currencies are going to revalue and go asset-backed, but if it was me, I would get back to them and ask them a serious question of where you're getting your information, because it's nonsense. That'll do it, guys. Like I said, you'll get this in your box Saturday morning. I'll get it to Tanya as soon as I'm done with it. She'll, at some point tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, get it out and in your boxes. And we'll just see what happens and play it by ear. We're planning on another call Monday or Tuesday, depending on the information. But just keep checking your boxes. Don't forget to click the YouTube link in your email to go to the YouTube and subscribe to it, because at some point, we're not sure when, but we're going to stop sending the MP3s out, and everything's only going to be on YouTube. And when we do that, we're going to make all these videos private, so hopefully nobody could take them and put them on their channel and make money off of our effort. So anyways, guys, you have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.